Today's Risco Tech Tip video will focus on disassembly of the machine following a day of production. This particular model is the RS100. This information will be applicable to also an RS112 and 114. So the first step would be to power off the machine, lock it out, and tag it out for safety. The second step would be to open the vacuum door and remove the vacuum filter, set it off to the side, and insert the vacuum plug to cap off the vacuum port on the machine to ensure that we don't get any water into the vacuum chamber when we're washing. If the vacuum chamber was dry and your vacuum filter is dry, you can just set this out of the way. There's no need to take this apart and do anything beyond there. If your vacuum chamber started to fill with liquid, that you do have this filter soiled or wet, the cover comes off, there's a ball inside. You can clean these up, set them off to the side, and let them dry overnight, and then put it back together in the morning when you're ready to start using the machine again. Next step is to get rid of any attachments. In this case, we just had a straight stuffing horn on. We're going to remove that. That can go off to the sink for cleaning as well. Our next step will be to open up the hopper and move the cam lock over center, tilt the hopper back until it rests in its open position. Next step would be to remove the kidney O-ring. Again, our machine is clean. Normally you're going to have meat batter, sausage, etc. in here. These parts are going to be sticky to remove. Now we're going to remove the upper cam utilizing the T-extractor tool. You'll notice there's grease on the threads. If your tool is clean with no grease, go ahead and spray it with a little bit of white oil or food grade grease. Start threading this extraction tool into the upper cam and thread it fully in until the threads are fully engaged. This will ensure that you have everything loose and that you can fully have your maximized area to remove the upper cam. Pull it out, place it on the table, go ahead and remove the extraction tool. The next step would be to remove the rotor. Again, when the pump assembly is full of meat or sausage batter, the vanes are going to be in place and sticky. They're not going to come out. Today, because mine are clean, I'm going to remove the vanes that I can prior to removing the rotor. Next, we'll utilize the small end of the extraction tool, threading that into the rotor, raising it out of the pump housing. Again, you will want to fully engage the threads. So as you lift it out, you maximize your clearance between the pump housing and the top plate. And again, if it was dry, go ahead and lubricate the extraction tool with some white oil prior to starting the process. Once it's fully engaged, lift the rotor straight out, over to your table or sink for cleaning. I'll remove the last two vanes. We are now have the pump and rotor assembly out. The last item to remove is the upper plate O-ring. Paint can opener tool works very well. There's a small hole here. Put the end of the tool into it, keeping the tool parallel with the top plate, rotating it around, pulling it out. Once you have it started, you can pull it out with your fingers. That's the extent of everything that needs to be removed for cleaning. At this point, you can hose down everything in the pump area, the upper plate. Water will run out through the vacuum port. This is all hosed down. Screen is washed down, etc. I would not use a pressure washer on any of it. The last area we need to disassemble is going to be the components inside of the hopper. Now we're moving to removing the parts in the hopper. On the RS110 series, there is a safety lid. The 112 and 114 have the loading arms, so there is no safety lid. The hopper is slightly taller. So depending on your machine, gain access to the hopper. First step is to remove the counter auger with these two threaded bolts on the side. Just lift out, can go to the sink for cleaning. And the last item is the hopper scraper. There's a double set of threads on this nut, so you'll notice we'll loosen it, and now it's loose, but it won't come off. Provide a little bit of gentle pressure with your fingers Continue unscrewing it to start the second set of threads and remove it. The reason this is double threaded is that if you forgot to tighten it completely, or for some reason it were to vibrate loose, it can't come completely off and fall down into the pump. Once you have that removed, the scraper will slide off. That is the extent of the components to remove for cleaning. Again, you can wash it out, hose it down, utilize brushes, clean, sanitize the machine. That will end today's Risco Tech Tip video on disassembly of your RS100 series machine for cleaning.